So over the weekend, we watched The Departed. We were talking about in the last vlog that we had purchased some Scorsese films, 6 of them, for $12.99, which is a really good deal.
But we have the physical too.
We have the physical too, yeah. But wow, what a great movie that was, huh? Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg. So many twists and turns. It was really a thrill ride from the beginning to the end. This has some special features on it too, which is deleted scenes or additional scenes and the story of the Boston mob crossing criminal cultures, which was interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of mysteries in it, but I mean, there were a lot of twists and turns, like I said, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because they show you everything, but you're still surprised.
Yeah, I know. And you're kind of wondering, probably like the characters are, who's doing what, who's working for who, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I think it's one of Scorsese's best films, but let us know what you think in the comments. I'm not sure this one is listed as like one of the top Scorsese films, but I feel like it's one of the, I feel like it is.
They say it's a new American crime classic right there.
New American crime classic from the legendary Martin Scorsese. Wow.
It was really good.
Good one. This is the Scorsese collection that I have. We did get The Aviator also as a digital copy, and you were saying you want to see Gangs of New York, which I think we have a digital copy for. I think we have a digital copy.
Yeah, we have a digital here. Yeah. We started this one and I liked it, but I think I'm going to like it more now.
Yeah. And I like Casino. There's so many films. We also got Goodfellas, and then you can see this box that I have with After Hours.
We picked up Goodfellas on digital. Yeah. And then After Hours and Alice.
After Hours, Mean Streets. But of course, I already have the Criterion version of After Hours and Mean Streets. And
I don't think I saw this one.
Which one's that?
Casino.
Casino. Oh yeah, Casino. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good one, and I have the digital for that too. So
yeah,
we might be watching a few of these, right?
Yeah. Oh, this one was good.
Cape Fear was very scary.
Yeah.
With Robert De Niro. Oh my goodness, yeah, very scary. So. But let us know in the comments what your favorite Martin Scorsese film is. Just wanted to say thanks for all the feedback on last week's vlog. We really appreciate it. We were out a little bit today. It's very sunny here today, very windy. But I wanted to say thanks to everybody that gave us some feedback regarding our podcast. I think what we decided to do, Jesse and I were talking about it today, is we're going to continue to do our little mini podcast in the vlog. So you'll have that, and it'll probably be maybe 20 or 30 minutes. Might be a longer office segment that we'll talk more about movies and entertainment news and things like that, things we're watching. And we'll try to combine that with more video of the collection and a little bit of nature, but maybe not as much. And as we go through the summer, we'll also include, maybe more trips that we're on. We did a road trip a couple of vlogs ago. I'm sure as we go on more trips, we will include that stuff as well. So thanks again for the feedback. We do appreciate it. So really fun to see the tractor today, especially with snow here. You can really see the two seasons in full swing. We have the end of winter, still some snow, and the beginning of spring. And it's funny because this field that's across from where we live, I think last year was left just as it is, as you've probably seen it in the videos. And then this year it looks like they're tilling the soil a little bit for maybe some planting in the spring. We don't know yet, but we'll see what happens. And certainly any progress will be seen in the openings or in some of the other videos that we're doing for the vlog. But it has been fun to see this tractor go back and forth today, pretty much all morning. Welcome to spring. Can you believe the spring we're having?
Yeah, it's so warm.
I mean, yeah. The sun is shining.
The birds are singing.
The birds are singing. If you're listening to this, we're showing some footage of snow. If you're just listening.
On March 26th.
On March the 26th. Snowing, snow on the ground.
Snow in the air.
The farmer was confused across the way because they plowed the field and now it's all snowy. Maybe the farmer wasn't confused though. Maybe the farmer knew exactly what was going to happen, right?
I think so, because I think they found a nice window where the ground wasn't too soft, but it wasn't frozen like it is now.
I'd like to find a nice window that I could open.
Do you see, can you get that cardinal? There's a cardinal to
Oh,
your
really?
right,
Oh.
down in the hedgerow a little bit.
Hmm. Oh, it's over here, you mean?
Yeah, you're right.
This right.
Your other right.
Oh, let's see if I can zoom in and see him. Oh. It's hard to see him with all the snow.
Mm.
I don't know, I didn't zoom in quick enough.
No, he's still there.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, there he is, yeah. You can see him off to the right in the snow, huddling in the hedgerow.
Oh, he left. Oh, no, he didn't. He just moved over.
He moved over a little bit.
Man, it is.
It's really coming down, yeah. This week, first time watch for me was this movie called Imitation of Life with Claudia Colbert and Louise Beavers and others, directed by John M. Stahl. I was watching on the Criterion channel, but I do have this Blu-ray. This one is spine number 1167. Lots of extra features on it, which I plan to watch because a lot of these are not on the Criterion channel. There's a new introduction to the film by Imogen Sarah Smith, who's one of my favorite contributors. The Call of the Heart, John M. Stahl and Hollywood Melodrama. There's a new interview with Miriam J. Petty, author of Stealing the Show, African-American Performers and Audiences in 1930s Hollywood. And a trailer. This movie is from 1934, but it's really engaging. It's 110 minutes. I'll just read a little bit of the back here. Melodrama master John M. Stahl brings his exquisite restraint and almost spiritually pure visual style to this devastating, enduringly relevant story of mothers and daughters. Imitation of Life explores the friendship between two struggling single mothers. One, Claudette Colbert, a working-class white woman who ascends to the top of the business world. The other, Louise Beavers, her black housekeeper, whose life is shattered by the rejection of her rebellious white passing daughter. It is this latter relationship, attuned to America's bitter racial realities and heartbreakingly enacted by trailblazing black performance Beavers in Washington, that lends the film its transcendent emotional power. The first adaptation of Fannie Hurst's best-selling novel boldly confronts the complexities and contradictions of racial identity, economic exploitation, and the limits of the American dream. This is a really amazing film, very sad, but also very heartwarming in spots too, very engaging, so well done, and I really think this is going to be a favorite to watch in years to come. And of course, I'm a big fan of the director as well, so thought I would share that. It is on the Criterion channel, but there is a Blu-ray of it from Criterion, and it's so well done. So just driving by the lake today, and lately we've been watching on Pluto TV, we've been watching this show called Becker, which is with, who's in that?
Ted Danson.
Oh yeah, Ted Danson, right. And I think the show was from 1998 to 2004, but we're really enjoying it. He plays kind of a cranky doctor, sort of like a House MD kind of character, right?
Yeah, this is before House started.
Before House started, yeah. But it's really funny. I mean, you know, it's fun to find these shows on a free service like Pluto TV, and then we're looking for the DVD set. Seems pretty inexpensive, so we're looking around to maybe pick that up, even though I could use a Blu-ray. It's a really great show. So far, it just feels like the writing is really good, and I mean,
yeah, it's a half an hour show. It's pretty funny. There's not he's a doctor, but there's not a lot of like medicine involved. It's nice. He has friends at the diner. Like, it seems like his house and the diner and the office are all kind of close together.
Yeah.
And he kind of just lives this like simple single life, and everything always bothers him. So he always has something to complain about.
Yeah. At first, I thought, oh, maybe it's like a little bit too much one note, but he does have a warm heart. It feels like, even though he's a little grumpy. There's some really tender moments, some really serious moments in the show, at least in the episodes we've seen.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about these shows is, and this is true for Love Boat too, but like with Becker, there's a lot of the patients are guest stars a lot of times too. So there was one guy on last night who looked familiar from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I hadn't really seen him in a lot of other things, or maybe it wasn't him. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's nice to see some guest stars on the shows. People that you don't see all the time, or character actors or something like that.
They get to be like patients, or there's one Mocha Joe from Curb Your Enthusiasm is in a couple of episodes, and Ted Danson was in Curb also, so it's kind of fun to see that stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to see those guys later in the career, right? When Ted Danson was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then the actor that plays, Mocha Joe too, and the actress that plays the owner of the restaurant that Becker goes to was in Star Trek, I think, right?
Yeah.
She looks like she was in Star Trek.
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine, yeah. So, that's fun to see, and lots of interesting characters. A lot of diverse characters, which I like, and so it's a fun show, and it's fun to find something like that that we weren't really expecting. I know you had seen some episodes of the show, but I hadn't really seen the show, but I really like it a lot. I think we'll be watching more of it. And now it seems like we have to get home because it's only on from 7 to 9, I think, on Pluto TV. You can't really watch it on demand, so
now I feel like we're free cable all over again.
Free cable. We have to, get home for 2 hours of Becker every night now.
That's right.
Did we say the episodes of Becker are not in the right order on Pluto TV?
Well, I don't think we told them. We found that we can watch them on demand.
Oh, on demand. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So
we were thinking we had to race home to see 2 hours of Becker every night.
Right.
But
it turns out that somehow they're in the on-demand section.
They're on demand. We found the on-demand section for Pluto TV. And, I mean, I guess we're lucky. We don't have to see too many ads yet.
Well,
I think.
It has this thing where, like, if you pause it, an ad pops up. So maybe that...
Oh, maybe that fulfills the ad requirement?
I don't know. But the only thing is that sometimes when you go to watch older sitcoms on streaming or something, they're not always in the right order as like the airing, the air date order. Like, I think Mad About You was in a little bit of an odd order too, but hopefully we'll be able to see most of them.
I mean, I think we can keep track of the arc, though. If there's any character arcs, I think we can keep track of it, yeah.
I think just a couple of the first episodes are, like, swapped around.
Look at the sunlight. There's the sunlight. Maybe spring is coming sooner than we think.
Yeah.
There's warmer weather coming, which will be nice. Oh, there's the big sun. There's the sun right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
My goodness.
Shining right. This is why it's hard to watch TV in the living room in the summertime, because it's right in your face. Yeah. Look at how bright that is, though.
Yeah.
After all the snow.
But it gets in my face first.
And then we have to move seats.
And then I have to move over, and then it gets in your seat, and then we have to move over again.
Move over on the couch, yeah. It's Friday pizza day, and we're sitting in the office and thinking about how many episodes of Becker we're going to watch today.
I think we watched like 4
Did we watch 4? Did we?
I think maybe we did.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird that we were able to find, I know we talked about this in the last video, but we were able to find that it's on demand. So
On the last clip.
The last clip,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't think that it was on demand because we searched before and it just said like, I don't know, it used to say like on demand or something like that. Like there used to be a sticker on the thumbnails that would say like on demand, but it just said watch now. And we didn't know if that meant watch now because it's on demand or watch now because it's on a channel.
Yeah.
So I guess we found out that both Becker and The Love Boat are available on demand on Pluto.
Right. Which is nice. And now I'm watching Pluto TV ads on Facebook because they're so creative. Some of them are so creative.
They're very clever, yeah.
There was that one where there was a student meeting with a teacher, and the teacher was saying how she was very distracted because she's watching a lot of crime shows on Pluto TV. So she can't just watch too many crime shows.
She's like distracted, like thinking she's found clues and things like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. But I guess like when we watch an episode on demand, there's fewer ads.
I think so. Maybe we just get lucky.
So far,
Yeah.
or like if you watch Love Boat on the channel, I think there's more ad breaks. But we haven't watched it on demand to know.
Yeah. I was going to say something that we were talking about earlier. We talk about so many things, but usually what we do around this time of the year is see if we want to go see any shows, during the year.
Concerts.
Like concerts, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we do this thing where we kind of do this risk-reward type mini analysis on things. And so lately I've been really into the mountain goats, and we've been watching videos and interviews and things like that on YouTube, and I'm just really into the band for some reason these days. And so we were looking to see, and they looked like they were playing someplace close. But it's a long drive. It's a long drive. There's parking issues maybe. We have to drive home at night. So we kind of do this risk-reward type analysis when we're thinking about doing a thing. You probably saw in our vlog from a few weeks ago, we went to see the Elvis Costello show. We had a great time there, but it was kind of, we had already been there before. We were planning to stay overnight, so that was a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, part of it is we don't like to drive at night.
Driving at night is tough, yeah.
So we have to decide how long are we going to drive if we have to drive at night. If we have to drive at night, we prefer to drive on like the freeway or
regular
the thruway,
roads, so it's
like
not
larger paved roads than like
because
more
otherwise
like
it's like
rural like country
side roads or whatever. You don't know. But I'd love to see them. I just don't know, And then they're on a bill with someone else. So then if the other band comes on first, then you're gonna be waiting and then leaving late. If the Mountain Goats come on first, then you could leave early potentially.
True.
But you don't really know what the order is because a lot of times when these bands tour together, they switch it up, So one of them plays early, one of them plays late. You never know who's going to. Not that we wouldn't like the other band either, but I would just love to see them. I love it when a band. Sometimes what happens with me is I get into a band and then they've broken up already, or they're not touring anymore. I'm like, oh, I'd really love to see these guys. That would really be great. I think that happened with the Pixies. I was really into the Pixies years ago, and they were broken up. They weren't really touring, and then they became really popular after that. I still never went to see them. I didn't, go to see them.
Right.
I would love to see The Cure also. I love The Cure. I was watching a couple of summers ago, I was watching a lot of concerts on YouTube, and it's fun because you can watch, concert clips on YouTube, and maybe they're not always the best quality, but at least you get a sense of the show.
Well, we were going to go to a show a few weeks ago, and then luckily we didn't buy tickets because your back we wouldn't have been able to go
had a problem,
anyway.
Sitting and
but then it turned out that
yeah.
someone filmed the show and put it on YouTube, and the seats were better than what we would
it was like front row, so you could see it.
So it turned out that we got to enjoy the show even though we weren't there. I know it's not the same, right? It's different when you're in the room and at the time, but there are so many opportunities to watch things on YouTube now.
I'm sure this is issues for lots of people too. I mean, you have parking, you have sitting, you have standing, you have just walking,
driving.
A lot of time driving and walking and things like that. It's really kind of exhausting. I used to go to a lot of shows when I was younger, and we went to, see more shows together maybe, close to 10 years ago. But I don't know. It would be great to go, see something like that.
Well, seeing The Cure would be different because they would play like a larger venue, so it'd be easier to like stay, like make a weekend or a
Maybe
few
it would
days
be,
out of
yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
then be able
But
to
even
see
Madison
them.
Square
But
Garden, though, you never know. I mean, Madison Square Garden would be. We went to Madison Square Garden about 10 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. But it was 10 years ago.
I know.
So that was, but you're right. I mean, if it was a place like New York City, for example, you could maybe go there and stay in a hotel, and then you can walk to your hotel afterwards. Which
Right,
we did when we
Yeah.
stayed there before. So that's kind of what we're planning to do. Let us know if you have any, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're planning to do for the summer, planning to see any movies, go to see any concerts or shows or travel or anything like that.
Well, it looks like the first 8 days of May are when the Thunderbolts is going to be in the theater.
Oh, okay. So that's good. Maybe we could go see that.
And you can
Who knows what the
pre-order your
reviews will be?
tickets. I don't know that you need to pre-order them. You also
Are you
can
looking
still...
on you're looking on the Fandango site, or are you looking at another
this is
site?
the Regal site.
Oh, okay.
We also could
Regal
see Mickey 17 is still in the theater, which I mean, still I think
probably
it
wait
started
for
last
that.
week, but
I think we'll probably wait for that. But there have been people leaving comments saying Mickey 17 is really good, so we should definitely see that.
Yeah.
But we'll probably wait. I heard that movie Black Bag is really good too, but we watched the previews for that, and it's a Steven Soderbergh film, I think. But it just looked like the way that it was filmed looked kind of, how sometimes films look either a little bit like they're foggy, like not as clear. You know what I mean?
Like they have like a filter.
Like they have a
something?
filter on them or something like that. It looked like that. Now, could be wrong on that too, but I'm still looking forward to the Superman movie. I can't wait for that one. And hopefully it's good. We don't know.
I mean, hopefully. Apparently there's a Neil Young movie coming out.
Is there? Oh.
It's
But
called
that's at
Neil
Regal
Young...
Cinemas, right? Wouldn't it be where we would go, right?
Yeah, it's called Neil Young Coastal.
Oh, okay. Lots of opportunities then to see different things in the theater. But
The Accountant 2? Is that a new movie, or are they just re-airing an older movie?
I don't know about that.
The Accountant 2.
Yeah, okay. There's not much in the theater this week that we would be interested in seeing. So I think we'll just be home watching episodes of Becker, and I have been going on the Criterion channel a little bit more, looking for things. There's a Michael Mann feature on there that looks really good, but I've seen a lot of those films already. So
I have a question.
Oh, yes, you in the back.
Because
you over
last
there.
weekend, I don't think we talked about it at the very beginning of this vlog because it was over the weekend and we don't typically vlog on the weekends. But last Sunday we watched The Departed and we made pasta.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
Maybe this weekend we'll do something similar.
So what are we going to watch this weekend for our pasta?
I don't know, because we started watching Goodfellas, and I like Goodfellas, and I know it's maybe because after we had seen The Departed, it's a little bit different, but Goodfellas is a great movie. I mean...
Oh, I definitely think it's a good movie. I don't know that it has the pace I was looking for at the time.
Yeah, I used to like, this already, but I used to like, anytime I watched The Godfather, I would wait to that point in The Godfather where Michael has to go back to Italy or something like that, and that's where I would make some pasta.
Yeah, there's like a scene in the film where they make pasta.
They're making pasta, yeah, but I think he's planning to go back to Italy or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I haven't seen The Godfather in many years either, even though it's one of my favorites. But I've seen it so many times, So yeah, maybe we should watch that. Maybe I was thinking maybe we should watch After Hours, because you haven't seen After Hours, and that's pretty good. And that's kind of a weekend.
Part of it.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a departure for Scorsese.
An intense weekend.
Yeah.
Between his job or something.
Yeah. But it's a fun movie because you sort of see him at work, and as I remember it anyway, at the beginning of the movie, he's at work and he's leaving for work, and they show the doors where he leaves for work, and then at the end of the movie, hopefully this isn't a spoiler, but he's back in the same place basically at the end of the week, at the end of this crazy weekend that he had. Work, right? They're just like all over the place, and he's back at the same thing.
I don't know why this year I've been into like what I guess I would consider like epic movies, right? Like we're watching Gladiator, or watching like I feel like The Departed is kind of like an epic movie because it's just like this big experience sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were just reflecting too on how we were a year ago we started watching The Walking Dead, and so I was doing a little short for the channel this morning about The Walking Dead because we like that show. and I think I'd seen something on Pluto TV because they have a whole Walking Dead, series
it was like
channel,
a clip
right? They have a
from
whole
like
channel,
a different, from like an earlier episode.
But it's funny how we go through cycles of watching things, and get into different, series.
I feel like I'm glad we're watching Becker because we needed a show for like meal times, which is good.
Lunch and stuff.
But I also feel like.
But we were watching late last night too. We were like, let's put on another Becker.
But that's what I'm feeling is like part of me is like, I feel like it's that time of year where we could really like start binging a show, and I don't know what show that would be.
That's the show Becker. That's the one.
We're just gonna binge Becker.
Becker, probably. If we watch 2 or 3 episodes, there's 6 seasons of it.
But like how it felt like when we watched The Walking Dead, or we were watching Sopranos, or like years ago we were watching like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, like having one of those like big shows where like we were watching Sopranos, we're watching like 4 hours at a time sometimes.
I just, other than movies lately, I haven't really been into very serious things. I was considering, we noticed The Love Boat is on demand too, so I could start that from the beginning, even though I'm watching random episodes. Sometimes you like to watch random episodes.
Yeah. But we run into the thing where, because The Love Boat is its own channel, so at some point you end up like, when you're watching at the same time every night, it's like the same
It could be maybe the same episode, yeah. I was thinking there's someone that comments on the channel sometimes that has one of those DVD changers. You can put 5 DVDs in. I really think like in the future, probably if I could get one of those, I would probably just put in a Becker DVD. You know what I mean? I would put in like a Barney Miller, a Becker, a Love Boat, and then just rotate those, those shows.
Right.
Especially if we give up on streaming at some point and we just go, we're just going to have our own little mix of things we watch.
Yeah.
I think that would be great because then you can sort of alternate. Of course, you don't need the 5 DVD changer, but it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, but if it's already preloaded,
if it's already preloaded, then you're just like,
have to change out the
I can
disc.
watch the show, but
because I think like. Not that you need 5 discs to watch a thing, but like you were looking on the Criterion channel for something, and I was like, I put the disc in for you, and you're like, no, I guess I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I started to watch a Jacques Tati film last night, and I wasn't really into it, even though I think those films are great. I just wasn't into it for whatever reason, So part of it is like, part of it for me is always like deciding. The first thing I have to do is decide what mood I'm in first to see what I want to watch, and then once I've decided what mood I'm in. As you know, sometimes I'm just constantly surfing for something to watch. Right. Sometimes I know exactly what I want to see, and I put it on, and I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. This is what I want to see. But not all the time. I don't know if everybody's like that. Some people, work with a stack of things that they're just working through.
Yeah.
I just can't work through a stack and I have had a stack by the TV in the bedroom for the longest time, and I can't seem to work through those things.
Well, I think we have like different windows of time where we watch things, right? So in the afternoon, we have this window where it used to be a time when we would watch something together. Like when we were watching The Walking Dead, it'd be like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We watched some Walking Dead and then do whatever we did for the rest of the day. And now that time is
taken up by Love Boat.
Is like, no, it's more like a movie time. Like you just watched like, what is it, Imitation of Life,
which
so
was
then
good.
Now we moved up because like you used to have the evening time was when you would watch a movie and I would do something.
But I would start. That's how I started watching the Shampoo, I think. But I watched a couple of other films. Where I'd start a film and then you'd be doing something else.
And then it would be like in the early evening. There would be time where we might watch something together, or we might watch something separately or something, and then in the evening you would fall into like watching Columbo or watching something else. But then that middle slot used to be how the first slot was. So like there's times where we'll watch something together, then you were watching like Barney Miller and I was like playing Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
And then the evening you would watch something serious and I would read. But then like those times like shift, like they swap around. So it's hard. True. Right now we're kind of just in this time of transition.
But I'll probably go into more summer reading, I think, too, maybe. That's the other thing. As we get into the warmer weather, I'll probably do some more reading, even though you'd think that would be a winter activity. But I'm sure this is riveting discussion.
This is like... But I think sometimes... So I guess my point with the different windows of the watching opportunities is like it changes what we end up watching.
Yeah.
So right now, like we're watching Becker, but then maybe we'll end up watching it more into like a strictly watching phase instead of just like a meal phase.
Could be, yeah.
And then other times we watch a movie together, but then other times we don't. So we're just kind of like in this like, are we going to watch a show together, or are you going to watch like study something, or we don't know.
I think the only real issue I have with Becker right now, even though I love the show, it's great, is that he is a little bit one note as a character. There are some redeeming qualities to him as a character, and he has like a warm heart. Also, there's some things, parts of the show.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say 80% of the show, he's very grumpy, which is fine. But I guess I get a little bit, the show has that pattern, right? Like he's really grumpy in the beginning of the show. He goes to the diner. He has a pack of cigarettes that he has hidden in the cash register at the diner, and that's the only place he really smokes.
Right.
And then he's grumpy about some issue. I think the writing is great. I mean, like I said, I love the show. I feel like if you were to binge watch it, I guess that was my point. If you watch them over and over again, you're really going to get this flavor of like.
Right. Whereas I think we'll probably end up watching like 1 or 2 episodes a day, it'll just be our meal time show.
Yeah, because you don't want to watch too. In other words, you can take a little bit of it. Whereas like for me with Love Boat, there's always different storylines, and sometimes episodes are funnier because there's usually three storylines.
It's 3 stories over an hour instead of one story in 20 minutes.
Right.
And I guess, because like, especially in the beginning with Becker, he's, in the last couple of episodes, he's been really grumpy with patients, and that's a little bit weird because he yells at the patients.
Sometimes he's funny with the patients too.
But in the last two episodes we watched, he was not yelling, like he's not screaming at them, but he's being a little more frank than other people would be.
But as you were saying, at least you get the sense that he cares as a doctor, right? He wants people like in the last episode we saw, he went to someone's house too to say like, you have to really do something about this problem or whatever. I mean, that's kind of refreshing to see that he really cares as a character.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's just kind of grumpy about it.
It is like the first season, so they are still trying to figure out like where his range is and how often do you want him to be kind. I mean, he's always being sort of kind, even though he's grumpy about it.
Yeah, and you're right. Maybe it's the first season. We'll have to see over the 6 seasons.
And it's not always appropriate, like his friend Jake is blind, and they make blind jokes. And
yeah, that's true. I was going to say before we end for today, you were right about the Joey episodes. We found that they are they're actually uploading more episodes of Joey, the show that was related to Friends, the spin-off. I couldn't think of that word spin-off. The spin-off from Friends is the show Joey. Yeah. So you can watch that on YouTube now, which is pretty good. I mean, free on YouTube on the Friends channel, which is pretty good. I mean,
we liked the first episode.
We'd have to watch more of that, I think. But
the second episode was okay. It's another show I think that is a little bit one note. Yeah. Because I think like his sister steals the show because she was on Sopranos and then she was on this show.
But then he has a roommate though too. Yeah. So
she's really good, but I think like we also just. I mean, it got like 100 episodes or something, didn't it? Like, I mean, clearly it works its way.
So that's our take for Friday. Hope everyone, if these vlogs come out on Monday, so I hope everyone has a great week. We're going to continue. I think maybe I said this earlier in the vlog, but we're going to keep these kind of longer office segments. And you can leave us a comment on anything. You can ask a question. If we get some questions, maybe we'll answer one here in this part of the vlog. I think we're looking forward to maybe doing a little bit more travel, so maybe we'd have more road vlogs as we go forward. No guarantees on that, but that's would be nice as the weather gets warmer to get out a little bit more. Even though every show we plan, we seem to like to cancel.
Well, I have to say that I mean not like going out. I mean more like
maybe trips to the movie to the movie theater, like maybe to like a local restaurant or something like that.
Remember when it's a long time now, I can't remember exactly, but I feel like we used to do like Goodwill trips.
Yeah.
That we haven't done.
Well, we'll have an unhaul we're going to do because the library book sale's coming up, so we'll be doing that.
But I feel like that's one thing we haven't done. Yeah. It's been like years, I think, since we've gone to Goodwill, but there are like a couple more in our area now, so maybe we'll do that.
Also, I do have a Criterion flash sale haul, which I'll be probably putting up next week. I was planning to film it this week, but it didn't happen, so probably I'll have that up next week. And I have some other haul videos probably that I'll be able to put up because I have picked up some things. I just haven't really shown too much or haven't done a formal video on those things, so maybe we'll be able to
And
show
we know people want the collection videos, but I'm being too picky about them, so we haven't done any yet.
Yeah, and I'm trying to show also with the shorts. I've been doing a shorts I've been doing shorts every day to show parts of the collection too. So, so you can see most of it there. You know, I'm showing the Criterion shelf. I'm showing the other parts of the shelf after we did the redesign and everything.
I mean,
like that,
I know that like I know the collection videos do well if we do like the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people want to see a lot of movies at once, and I get it. I totally get it. But between the lighting and the toll it takes on our backs, it's a little tricky to do them.
And also sometimes there's vacuuming upstairs that we can't.
Like,
there's noises upstairs that really prevent us from, like today it's you know, right now anyway, it's relatively quiet, but sometimes there are noises upstairs. Anybody that lives in a community or an apartment knows that there could be noises, and so you start to make a video and then there's a random you know, vacuuming noise or some banging or something going on upstairs, whatever. But anyway, they're
just a little more like time consuming, and it always, as an editor, like the light always bothers me. Like the Criterion shelf is in one specific spot where like it's a little bit dark, but then there's a glare, and then, you know, and I want them to look nice because you're showing off the collection, you know.
We thought of some different ways of doing it too. Like I think one of the collection videos, I could also you know, pull some of the films off the shelf too. I like to show them in the shelf, but because they're usually in alphabetical order, not the Criterion shelf.
Well, I guess one thing we could do is like, I was thinking like,
it's a lot of detail for people listening.
We haven't talked about it yet, but I was thinking we could break the shelf, like the collections, into smaller groups. Like you could say like, this is a director, this is a specific theme or whatever. So like, there's not as many to show in one, but I understand that like the appeal is that there's like so many in one.
Complete video, so. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll continue to do these vlogs, and hope everyone has a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.